What is some of the favorites you've purchased from Norman?
Some of my favorites that I've purchased from Norman were I have a blonde Super 400 cutaway that I kind of started. I didn't get it that long ago, about a year and a half, 2 years ago. I was out in his shop and I played it. I just loved the sound of this guitar, and I said, I don't really need that, so I let it go and didn't think much about it. And then I was back out there, and he asked me to come out to the shop and do a podcast that he was starting to do, and I said sure, and I picked that thing up again, and I said, man, this thing's haunted me for like a year. He says, I'll let you have it for so and so. I said, I'll do that. So that's the most recent. Probably my favorite is I bought a blonde. I think it's a '57 Strat, and nobody really knows if it'd been refinished or not. I don't think anybody can really tell, or I'm sure the experts could, but to my knowledge, it hasn't been. But I've had that. That one goes back to the late '70s that I got from Norm, and a Telecaster or two, and Strat or two, and just every now and then there's a few things that you just can't live without. It's interesting, my collection that I've acquired over the last 45 years, basically. The first guitar I ever bought to start was a 1942 D28 Martin herringbone guitar, and I was an 18-year-old kid, and I just moved away from home, and I found this guitar at a bluegrass festival. And I didn't really have quite enough money to buy it, but I traded him a 70s D41 that I had and cash, and the cash that I spent, $1,650, was all the money I had saved in my life. So I traded my guitar, I broke my bank account, and had a great old pre-war Martin D28 herringbone, and I still have it to this day. And so some of them are kind of more sentimental than anything else. You see behind you a wall of Blackguard Telecasters. But the very first one I got was in 1978 in a little shop in Oklahoma City, and it's the best one I've ever found. It's better than all the rest that have come after, and that's the one I still kind of lean on and play the most. It's a white one. It's a 53, and it's kind of I've never seen very many white ones before, and I guess that's somewhat rare. And once again, I don't know the history of the guitar. Like, it was only 25 years old when I bought it, but now 42 years later, it's got some years on it. And but yeah, I think every time I try to find an instrument, I want it to speak to me. I want it to feel good in my hands. I want it to play good. I want it to sound good. And if it doesn't have any of those characteristics, I don't want it. Just because you might be able to get a good deal on something or get something at a good price. I never have really picked up much of anything that I wasn't pretty crazy about. So as many as there are here, they're all pretty dang good. There are not a lot of dogs. That's what's fun about these instruments is it's like having a different color of paint if you're a painter. And each one sounds a little bit different. And I kind of play what I feel is the most appropriate for what I'm doing, what I'm recording, and what feels good to play live. I take my old great stuff on the road, and I play it out there on the road, and I feel like that's the reason I have it, is because I want to play it. And so I'm not real, finicky about not taking great stuff on the road just because it's worth a lot of money. What I never knew for the longest time is with Gibsons, the price was what the guitar was. Like an ES 125, brand new, costs $125. A 335 costs $335. Super 400 costs $400, and on and on and on. So I never knew that for the longest time, and even well into my collecting years and acquiring years, it just makes so much sense.